Stephanie, do you find that most families think the MDA is most helpful in that regard? Support?
I think absolutely the families who have come to know us and take advantage of our clinic and services and things like that. Absolutely, there are some that maybe still aren't ready to be a part of everything yet, and that's okay. We're always here and we're always reaching out to families as we learn about them. So,
Brian, Jack had a very special honor on St. Patrick's Day, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Maybe Jack will talk to us about that. Jack, how did it feel being the leader of the band, the Cleveland Firefighters Pipes and Drums, on St. Patrick's Day?
It was fun.
Yeah. You got to lead the parade.
Yep.
Did you enjoy that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. You were on your motorized scooter here?
Yep.
How long have you been riding this thing, buddy?
About 2 years, I think.
You're pretty good at it.
Yep.
Jack, I noticed that you and your dad came today, and your mom, with a dog.
Yep.
What's his name?
Tommy.
Did you name him Tommy?
No.
It was already named Tommy?
Yes.
Where did you get him?
From Wags for Kids.
Wags for Kids.
Yep.
A local organization that helps provide service animals, I understand.
Yep.
That's what they call Tommy here, a service dog, right?
Yes.
So how does he help you?
He can help me take off my socks and shoes.
Really?
But
What's he do, just take it with his teeth?
Yep.
And take it right off, huh?
Yep.
What else?
And he can take off. I mean, he can put dirty clothes in the hamper.
Oh, maybe every kid should have a service dog. Does he open doors for you?
Yep, he can open doors and pick up things that I drop.
Oh, because that's important. You can't do that like normal kids, right?
Yep.
It's important to have a dog to help do that. How much of a difference has the dog made in Tommy's or in Jack's life, Brian?
Well, it's made a big improvement. I mean, if he is more self-reliant and he doesn't have to call us as much, he drops the remote or the game controller, and Tommy can pick it up for him. It's been a real help for Jack.
And what's the name of this organization again?
The Wags for Kids.
Wags for Kids.
Yeah. They're based out of Berea.
Now, Brian, will Jack ever be able to move around without that scooter?
Well, we hope so. I mean, with the MDA being involved, there are at least 3 different treatment types that we're looking at that are in clinical trials in different stages of being approved and through the FDA. So we're hoping that one of these many things. I mean, it's just amazing if you think about that. He's missing like 2 little parts of DNA that they can either skip those 2 pieces of DNA that are missing to read through. It's kind of like a cookbook, and he's missing a couple pages for a recipe. So as it reads through the cookbook, it gets those 2 pages and stops. So he can't make dystrophin. So one of the treatments that they're looking at is to skip those 2 pages and continue on with the recipe, which will create some dystrophin for him. There's another trial that they're looking at making something called utofrin, which is similar to dystrophin that you're born with, and it uses that to build your muscles. But your body stops making it after your body starts making dystrophin. So they're looking at a way to turn that switch on. And then there's another one that actually will repair his DNA, which I think will eventually be a cure. That's something that the MDA just put out in the last month. They have a monthly newsletter they put out called Quest that we wait for every month to see what's going on, and we watch the website. So hopefully this DNA repair will not only help Jack, but help a lot of these genetic-based diseases.
Sounds like you know a lot more about muscular dystrophy than most people, obviously, but maybe some people in the medical profession as well.
I know more than I want to, really.
Yeah, I bet.
prefer not to know anything, really.
Does MDA lobby for these in Washington, Stephanie? Do they go to Capitol Hill and say, tell the FDA to get on the stick here and approve these treatments?
Yes, actually, we do. I was just reading about an advocacy team, and we have our own kind of the MDA website as well as our internal site where we can go and kind of see developments and how they're working as far as pushing things forward.
Have there been developments in the past that have shown promise that are encouraging to families?
There are quite a few different things that have worked out in the laboratory. there's a specific, they call it an MDX mouse, where the mouse actually has Duchenne, and it's a hereditary version, and they've had a lot of success. But going from an animal to human is a huge jump.
Yeah.
And then each kid reacts differently, because with deletions or duplications, especially in Duchenne, even kids with the same exact genetic defect will have different signs and symptoms at different times in their life. The kid might be walking till they're 10, 11. Another kid might need a wheelchair at 9 or 8. So it's really hard to tell because of each individual person and how their body reacts to these genetic defects.
Is Jack involved in any clinical trials?
Not yet. We're still hopeful that as these clinical trials open and we can get Jack into some of them.
Mm-hmm. That would be a tough decision, I would think.
It is. I mean, you have to look at what are the benefits of this clinical trial, not only to Jack, but to the whole MDA community as well, because you're not only just helping your son, but you're looking to help a lot of other people.
Yeah. And on the other hand, what if the trial doesn't go so well?
Right. It may not work. There's an exon skipping trial going on, and they found that it wasn't really working to their satisfaction at the drug company, so they kind of discontinued that. But if you talk to some of these families, some of these kids have seen a real increase in mobility and movement. So again, it's each kid, how they react to either the drugs or the genetic defects or any of the problems they have. Each one's a different body, so they're all going to react to it differently. It's just amazing how you can see two kids with the same exactly the same genetic defect with the same problem, and both of them react completely different. I've heard of brothers that were born with the same defect, and one's walking, one's not. And then, I mean, that's really hard on families, because how do you talk between the two? How come he can walk and I can't?
Right.
How come he can go out and I can't?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's just really difficult.
How has it affected Jack's relationship with his siblings?
I think they're very close because of it. My middle son helps out Jack a lot. He'll get things for him. They fight like normal kids, so we have to pull them apart. So I think it made them closer because they're doing. I mean, sometimes Jack can do things for Mark, playing video games and things. Jack will help him out.
As he's doing right now.
Yeah, yes, exactly. He never stops.
Keep the brain sharp.
Yep, exactly.
I bet you watch the MDA Telethon in a different way now.
Yeah. I mean, the first year when Jack was diagnosed, it was in September or August. So we watched the telethon from home, and it had a whole new meaning to us. And then ever since then, we've been at the telethon. I mean, that's our Labor Day thing now. It's not really a day off for us. It's really hard.
You go to Metro Health?
Yep, we go to Metro. We go the night before, and we go on the phones, and we help out during the day. So if they need someone to fill in, or they need somebody to fill out forms or run food or whatever they need, we're there all day long.
Do you still need volunteers for that, Stephanie?
Absolutely, we need. Yep, we're always looking for volunteers. Pretty much all throughout the year, we have so many different events that we're trying to kind of get off the ground that we could always use help. There's always something to do, and always.
So how do they get in touch with you?
You can actually either call our office or even send an email. My email is actually shill, HILL, @mdausa.org. And then our phone number is 440-816-0916. And I'll actually be heading up our local telethon this year, so I'd be the best one to talk to as far as volunteering for that. And I would love that.
Is that the Cleveland chapter of
Yes,
MDA?
the Cleveland chapter.
All right.
So absolutely, we always need people to help out with answering phones, just like you said, food, just general setup.
You know,
breakdown.
we're going to be seeing as the telethon approaches, we're going to be seeing those firefighters with those boots out.
Absolutely.
Are you a firefighter, Brian?
No, my dad's actually a retired Cleveland firefighter, so we do have very strong ties with the fire departments.
Why have they made muscular dystrophy their cause?
Well, and Stephanie can help me with some of these dates, but I think it was in the 1950s where there was a family that was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy, and the father had no idea what to do. He didn't know where to turn to. I mean, there was no telethon. There was nothing going on. So he ran down to the fire station, and he said, "You guys are here to help me. Can you help me?" And so they went together, and they said, well, what we can do is they can collect money. So they started filling the boot, and it grew from there. And now you see boots everywhere. Pretty much every department in the United States is out there collecting.
Mm-hmm.
Drop a buck in the boot.
Yep.
What's it going to hurt? Is it going to affect your life in any way?
Nope.
No.
It's going to help us. It's going to help a lot of families. It's amazing how much that money goes. For every 76 cents that's donated, it goes directly to the patient. So they're helping Jack buy his scooter, wheelchairs, chairlifts, testing. We do genetic testing. MDA has gone through and has genetic tests on all the clients and all the patients, so that when something does come up, they can call them and say, look, we have something for your problem. And they can call them and pull them in.
Watch the telethon Labor Day weekend and donate. Make a donation. Brian Wolf and his son Jack busily on his an iPhone. You're playing games on an iPhone? Boy, that iPhone can do everything.
I wanted to heal Jack, so let's find the app for that.
Yeah, right. Somebody develop that app, please. And Stephanie Hill from the Cleveland office of MDA. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Cleveland Connection. To contact Jim McIntyre, call 216-696-0123. Be listening again next week at this time for Cleveland Connection.